Physics class 11 chapter 8 gravitation. In the last class we have studied Cavendish's experiment to determine the value of g, that is gravitational constant. Today we shall study acceleration due to gravity of the earth. The earth can be imagined to be a sphere made of a large number of concentric spherical shells with smallest one at the center and largest one at the surface. Now we imagine the earth as a sphere which is made up of many concentric spherical shells, where the smallest shell is at the center and the largest shell is at the surface of the earth. For a point outside the earth, the gravitational force is just as if its entire mass of the earth is concentrated at its center. Now we have written two rules, that if you have got a spherical shell, okay, hollow spherical shell, if the point is outside the shell, then the gravitational force due to the shell on that mass will be as if all the mass of the shell is concentrated at the center. And if the point is inside the shell, then there is no gravitational force, there is no force. Okay, now here if we take a point which is outside the earth, then the gravitational force will be as if all the mass of the earth is concentrated at the center. Okay, this is that one of the rule which I have stated before in the last class. Consider a point mass m situated at a distance r from the center. Now you consider a point mass m. Okay, this is the earth surface, which is the red boundary. Okay, and this is the center of the earth that you take as O. From this center at a distance r, that is the radius r. Okay, you consider a mass m at point P is situated, okay, at this point. So it is inside the surface of the earth. Okay, P lies outside the sphere of radius r. So you can see that this is the sphere of radius r, and this point P is outside the sphere of this radius r, but it is inside the surface of the earth. For the shells of radius greater than r, the point P lies inside. They exert no gravitational force on mass m kept at P. Now as I said that the rule we have stated before, that this mass m for these shells which are outside the radius of which is greater than r will exert no force here. Okay, this part, all this part will not exert any force here, because for this all part the mass m is inside the shell. Therefore the gravitational force due to this part, okay, there will be zero. There will be no gravitational force on this m because of the outer part, but there will be force because of this inner shell. Okay, the smallest sphere exerts a force on a mass m at P as if its mass mr is concentrated at the center. But as I said that though this outer shell, okay, this outer part will not exert any force on the mass m, but this inner part, okay, this inner part will exert some force on m, and that will be the gravitational force, right? And so we know the gravitational force is given as F is equal to g into m1 m2 divided by r square. Thus it is proportional to the product of the mass and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Okay, so if I take the mass of this inner shell, okay, the mass of the inner shell, if I take as mr, okay, this mr I have written here. So if I take the mass of this as mr, then and the distance of this mass and the center, this distance will be as small r, then we can write the force m at P will be given as the gravitational force F is equal to g m mr divided by r square, call it equation number 1. We assume that entire earth is of uniform density. Now we consider that that the earth is of uniform density, though it is not true, but we just consider, we assume that the entire earth is uniform density. Therefore you know the formula for mass density equal rho equal to mass by volume. Mass is me, the total mass of the earth, and volume we consider that it is a spherical, right? Earth is a spherical, therefore the volume of the sphere I am using. So 4 pi by 3 r e cube, this is the radius of the earth. So from here mass of the earth m equal to this all part I am transferring over here. So m equal to 4 pi by 3 re cube rho. If 4 pi by 3 and rho, if you consider constant, then you can say that this mass is proportional to the cube of the radius. Okay, so me is proportional to re cube. Me is equal to mass of the earth and r is the radius of the earth, and density of mass of sphere mr and radius r is. Now similarly we write for the inner shell. Okay, the mass is mr, the radius is small r, then what will be the density? Okay, so rho equal to same formula, mass by volume, so mr by 4 pi by 3 r cube. 4 pi by 3 r cube transfer over here, so we get mass mr equal to 4 pi by 3 r cube into rho. Now I'll take the ratio of this me and mr, so I'll write mr by me. Okay, this by this I'll take the ratio of these two, but I'll take this by this. So mr divided by me equal to this value 4 pi by 3 r cube rho divided by this value 4 pi by 3 re cube rho. Rho cut, 4 pi by 3 cut, so what you get is mr equal to this me I am transferring over here, so me into here r cube and denominator is re cube. Now from equation 1, okay, this one, f is equal to gm divided by r square. Take equation number 1. So from equation number 1, f is equal to gm r square. Now gm r square I keep as it is. This mr value I'll place from here. Okay, so I'm placing the value of mr. So gm by r square as it is, and mr value is this one, me r cube by re cube. This gives you g m me r cube and r square, right? So you can cut r square, so you get here r, and this denominator is re power 3. If m is situated on the surface of the earth, then r is equal to re. Now suppose this mass which is inside, suppose it is not at this point but it is situated on the surface, okay, up on the surface. So if it is surface, then the distance will be not small r, but it will be the radius of the earth, that is re. So if you are taking the mass m on the surface of the earth, then you take small r equal to re. So in this equation, f is equal to gmre divided by re cube, but this r replaced by the radius of the earth re. So re and re cube, so 1 re you can cut, so what you get is g me small m divided by re square, right? So this is the force if this mass is on the surface, and if the mass is inside the surface of the earth at the distance r from the center of the earth, then the force is given as this one, g me r divided by re cube. The acceleration experienced by the mass m is g, right, is related to F by Newton's second law, F is equal to ma. Now we know that the acceleration on the mass m, that is due to the gravity, is g. Okay, we know that g is the acceleration due to gravity on mass m, and if F is the force, then they are related by Newton's second law, F is equal to ma. But here not a, here acceleration due to gravity, so you put here g. Okay, so F is equal to m into g, so I write here F is equal to mg. This implies F value, place this value, so g m divided by r square. Okay, this value I just place here instead of F, equal to this side mg. If you transfer m over here, this m and this m will cancel out, so you get here g equal to, here remains g me divided by r square. Call it equation number 2. So the value of acceleration due to gravity we get as g equal to g ma by r square. Okay, and using this, the Cavendish found that the value of g is taken to be 9.8, right, and g he found the value and re was known. So it is said that Cavendish weighted the earth, okay, from this equation. So we have found the acceleration due to gravity of the earth, g equal to capital G ma divided by r square. So here see, mass of the object is not, or the body is not mentioned. So this g is independent of the mass of the object. It is only depending on the gravitational constant, mass of the earth, and the radius of the earth. So we have studied the gravitation acceleration due to gravity of the earth. We'll keep this much for today. Thank you very much.